All right, everybody. We have a very special edition of the Tweet Cap here on the Productive Conversations podcast. And this is something we're very looking forward to do, and we're glad we're about to do it. So, first things first, Ryan is with me, and our next guest is a content creator and cosplayer who has gone viral with many of her various videos. She has garnered millions of views on content across all of her social media, and you can find her content across various platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and OnlyFans. Please give a warm welcome to Real Karra. Hey, Karra, what's going on?
I am sitting in my chair and drinking water, and I got my goose.
Ooh, got a little a Canada
Yeah.
goose, perhaps.
I have a dog
Excellent.
named Goose, so we've got goose stuff all over the house.
Excellent,
Interesting.
excellent. All right, perfect. Well, welcome, Karra. Thank you for joining us. And we've been really looking forward to this. And I guess first things first, how are you doing? 2023 is about to come to an end. How has your last year been and everything?
Pretty good. I actually just got back from Thailand like
Ooh.
2 weeks ago. My boyfriend's half Thai, so we went there to go meet his extended family.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
they had a funeral for his dad there, and I got to go and see like how they do funerals, and it's a lot more celebratory, and it's really neat. And they throw money, and kids from like down the street are all coming to the funeral looking happy. And I was confused, and then they started throwing money everywhere. So
Really?
yeah, it's super cool.
No
It's an
way, no
interesting
way.
day to be a kid when you just get money tossed at you
Yeah, I
from
was like,
strangers down the road, isn't it?
why do all these children look like they are so pumped that somebody died?
Jeez, yeah.
I feel like that's my way to go about it too. When it comes to that part of life, I feel it should be more celebratory than somber.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want the funeral. I'd want the whole celebration of life shtick.
Mm.
Oh, I'm very serious. I'm serious about that too.
Yeah.
We were talking before around the same age, and like we're learning so much, I'm sure. And I felt like I've learned like life. Not to start off on this somber note, but right, life really is about suffering, and
Oh,
that's
very
the privilege of it.
very
So
was very Buddhist of you. Very what's it called? The Dharma we're talking here.
I mean, it is. I really think so. But having said that, I think like again, we should more celebrate the life we live because we only have one. And
Yeah.
doing cool podcasts like this, kind of shows it. But either way, we're glad we're here. And how did you meet your boyfriend? Just curious.
Tinder.
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 Yeah.
We have,
Yeah, what were you saying?
I was gonna say we have a lot of conversations about Tinder relationships on this show most times. So this will be you probably proving me wrong about how lasting Tinder
I
relationships are.
I would say that we are not the majority at all. He's not the typical dude. I would say I'm not very typical.
I'd
I think
agree.
it was luck,
Mhm.
perfect timing. So yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. What exactly attracted you to swipe right with him?
I liked his sleeve. He had a really nice tattoo.
Oh, dope, dope. One thing, get some
Yeah.
ink that could help you. So, and one thing to mention too. So, Karra, you live in Canada. You're in British Columbia, Canada, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here in the States. I'm in Connecticut. Ryan's in DC. And that's pretty cool. Have you gone to the United States, a lot?
I went once when I was a kid to Duluth for my brother's like hockey tournament when he was a kid, and I
Really?
went once last year to Atlanta for like League of Legends World semifinals.
Oh,
Um, that was super cool and really fun, and the peach cobbler there like kicks
yeah,
ass.
yeah. Down south, the peach cobbler. I'm in Virginia, so we're like not really in the South. We're
Yeah.
like the faux South.
Mhm.
We're a southern state, but it's still real close to everything. But yeah, the further south from me you go, like things like that, the pecan pie or whatever,
I mean,
that all gets
like
very tasty.
I'm very anti mushy fruit desserts normally. Like I don't like
Mhm.
pies and like tarts and shit, but the peach cobbler, like I'm never gonna be able to taste that again unless I go back down there too, because nowhere here has that.
So
Mhm.
can I ask, so you said you were here for League of Legends,
Yeah.
for like the obviously the esports tournament,
Mm.
correct? Are you a gamer or were you watching someone else be game? Like, were you just watching for fun, or what? What's
No,
your
yeah.
connection to that?
Yeah, my boyfriend is like a really, really big gamer, and when I met him, I was just playing a lot of WoW and Wizard 101 and RuneScape and some like
RuneScape. Whoa,
yeah,
Good old
callback.
days.
and like some CS:GO, but then I met him and he said I might like League. I
Mhm.
watched him play a game on every single champ and then picked a champ I liked and
Huh.
yeah.
And so, I guess this is actually probably a bit of a segue. Part of what you do, what you're known for online, is this cosplaying, right? So, do you take a lot of inspiration from your gaming into
Oh
like the
no.
cosplay stuff you do, or is it totally different?
Yeah, it's pretty devoid. I'm like I've been into anime for way, way longer than I've been into gaming, so
Ooh,
yeah.
like what type of anime? You're like a Studio Ghibli, what I like, or
I've
like
seen
Dragon Ball
like
Z.
everything. I mainly like psychological thrillers, I'd say. Like
Hmm.
Shinsekai Yori, Made in Abyss, like Elfen Lied. Trying Hunt I do like Hunter x Hunter though. I really liked
Hmm.
Hunter x Hunter.
Ooh.
But like I've basically seen like anything that somebody would bring up unless it's extremely obscure or it's from like the olden days or something.
Oh, I
Yeah, I mean,
get it. I get it.
I was about to say, I'm definitely not. I'm not an anime guy, so anything I could contribute would be what it'd be like. What Death Note, Dragon Ball Z.
The
I got
mainstream
my
stuff, like,
mom. I got my mom to watch Death Note. She actually really liked that.
I loved it. Actually, I watched it twice, and I'm again
Yeah.
not an anime person, but I used to be as like a kid. But I get, well,
Well,
is it anime like Yu-Gi-Oh? That would be anime or
yeah,
no?
but
yeah,
Okay.
and
there's
Pokemon too.
anime that like a lot of people say they're not into anime, but there's a show in anime that anyone will like. Like I
Hmm.
don't like all anime, but that there's quite a few that I do like.
Interesting.
Like I really don't like slice of life girls in little schoolgirl outfits all fawning over one guy kind of shows or
Hmm.
I don't really like
That's what
comedies. I
I
don't find them
watch.
funny.
No,
But
Comedies or the
I,
slice of life?
both. Usually, not always.
mhm.
There's some that are good, but most of the time I pass.
Yeah, I pretty much watch everything of any genre and
Yeah.
any year it came out.
Yeah.
Um, animated and animated anime are obviously real
Oh,
life. I'm crazy about all
you see
content.
Blue Eye Samurai?
I missed that one, but that's someone leave.
You
But
oh my god, you have to watch that.
did you see Attack on Titan?
Oh, of course. That was actually the first show I ever watched because
Really?
I didn't want to watch anime for years in high school because I thought it was like fucking like giga cringe and
Yeah.
all I knew about anime was like Pokemon and I hated
Yeah.
Pokemon and my high school boyfriend at the time said, "Hey, we should watch this Attack on Titan show. I hear it's good." And I was like, "I don't want to watch an anime," but then it was history. Skipped school for a few days and just binged it. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. And that was the same thing for me too. When I've always been, Ryan will know, always been a lover of movies and film forever.
Mm.
Mhm.
And then go through college and I got my degree in film production and business. And I oddly didn't really appreciate film of all types until the pandemic. Like that's what I did until I started
Mm.
this show. And that's why I just learned like getting your culture any way to tell a story. And that's why I could talk to mostly anybody about anything with film or TV.
Film and
Yeah.
TV,
And
yeah.
especially the anime, the Studio Ghibli films they really hit your heart, you know.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess my first stint in anime was, Castle in the Sky.
Yeah, dark movie,
I,
but
yeah, I
beautiful.
had that. My mom got me that DVD when I was a little kid, and I used to watch it on like the car seat, like
Mhm.
on 4 hour road trips to see my grandparents, and it was the only movie I would ever watch. So I've watched it hundreds of times, and favorite movie of all time, favorite like theme song of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, on long trips, me and my brother would just yell at each other. That was what my
Oh
mom
yeah.
got to deal with.
That's funny you mentioned the car seat. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, wow, there's a whole generation where they could literally watch a DVD or VHS in the car. I did that all the time, and I felt bad that I kind of hogged my parents from the radio and pods, and like, I probably
Yeah.
won't do a thing, but it was good stuff, and it was always the same movies. I had Accepted. Have you ever seen Accepted with Jonah Hill and
Yeah.
Justin
No.
Long? Missed that one, or uh I watched a lot of Keenan and Kel tapes, Nickelodeon, good times. No, that.
No, I've only really watched non-animated films when like they've generated a lot of hype and I can't really ignore it anymore at that point. You know what I mean?
You want to watch it so you can stop hearing about how you should watch it, sort of thing.
Yeah, like if I've been scrolling TikTok and I'm nonstop getting clips from a certain movie, if I'm bored enough one day I'll watch it, but most of the time I'll find more enjoyment in like a new anime or something. So plus my boyfriend does not like to watch movies and I like to watch things with him, so it also makes it more
difficult. You gotta do what the group wants, right? Or what the couple wants.
Yeah, and I don't have that big of a preference, so yeah.
That's why I've watched all the episodes of Great British Baking Show. Because my wife is obsessed with the Great British Baking Show. And so I therefore have become de facto obsessed because that's what's on while we're cooking dinner. Yeah. That's what's on. So
yeah, like he's into Love is Blind quite a bit more than I am.
Ooh,
so now I know all the Love is Blind lore.
They're filming here where I am. They're filming in DC. So we're actually excited. New one? Yeah, the next season is going to be DC folks. Yeah. And so we're actually excited because we'll get to like recognize all of the places they go. Yeah. Like there's been pictures of people with like the glasses. It's a whole thing. So this whole area is very excited to live vicariously because we're gonna see all of our favorite like bars and stuff and be like, oh, we go there or we've been there. We know where that park is.
Yeah, I still need to get to that part. I haven't visited Orion since he moved to DC. It's been a busy couple of years, but I'm definitely want to check that out too. And yeah, so that's cool. So Ryan's married, Carrie, you're in a relationship. I'm single. Hopefully that changes. But I would love to have a conversation about that a little later on. Especially because like we mentioned, we talk a lot about dating. Mostly it's about me figuring out my dating life. It's a running bit on the show. Of course, here in the female perspective is good. Now I do have a scheduled date for tomorrow, a second date even.
Nice.
So maybe you can help me out. We're going bowling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Bumpers down, Matt. I know you don't
like I like the bowling lanes that have alcohol too.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Yeah. Now I specifically said to her, I don't care if you think about it. I like those gutters up.
No, gutters, bumpers down. Bumpers down. You gotta just shoot straight.
No, wait, like if you're over 12, you cannot have the bumpers down.
No, that's what I mean. Down, like don't have them up. You gotta leave them away so you can
go. When I think down, I think like they fold down.
Oh no, yeah, I meant like away. I meant away. Don't have them. Like, don't have them away.
You gotta leave the gutters open.
Yep, you got to. You just gotta shoot straight, Matt. You can't worry about it.
What about if she likes me for me? It doesn't matter if the gutters are up.
I guess that's a good way to test that. That would be that's one heck of a test, but
we could definitely talk about my dating a little later, and we'd love to hear your advice. But why don't we learn more about Karra? And as you mentioned, we mentioned you're cosplayer and content creator. So when did you exactly get interested in creating content? And was it right away with TikTok? Did you start on YouTube or did you expand more? Did you just see what you liked? Like focusing on the content creation part and what you do with, as we mentioned, cosplaying and viral clips and stuff like that. What exactly got you interested in broadcasting yourself?
My like catalyst originally was actually when Belle Delphine first blew up. I fucking hated her. I thought she was so cringe. I thought all the stuff she inspired was so cringe. And so I started making like anti-e-girl content. Like when she did the bathtub water, I've done way more grotesque stuff than my like pig video. I did like gamer girl toilet water, and I just like splashed toilet water everywhere and put my legs and feet in it and shit, and said I would sell it. I didn't sell it. I don't have the energy for that, but it started with that. I actually originally went viral on Instagram like 6 years ago.
Really?
For a video of me rolling in ketchup to it was a TikTok trend, but I just did it on Instagram. And I was making fun of the TikTok trend. That blew up on Instagram, and then my account blew up overnight, and then 2 weeks later, my Instagram got deleted.
Oh, God.
I got banned.
Why was that? Oh, okay.
Because of the ketchup, Matt.
No, because I post like really, I have a very offensive sense of humor, so I would post offensive memes and stuff, and
okay.
I got deleted. And then I had a backup account, and that got up to like, I want to say like 20,000 followers, and then that one started getting warnings, and I had another backup that I mostly posted memes on, and my account got, my second backup got, or my first backup got deleted. So then I got really mad, and I just spammed my third backup with like my own nudes and gore and like just the most messed up stuff I could find. And I kept doing that over and over again for like a solid 2 hours until they banned me. It was like I wanted to go out, like have a little show, have some fun, because I didn't care anymore at that point. And there were people that were like tuned in, like commenting as soon as I posted something and saying like, yeah, keep going, keep going.
So that was gonna be my question to that. Was like when you were on that, like when you were on the revenge tour, right? We'll call that last account your revenge account, because you knew it was coming, but you were ready. You wanted to go down swinging. Like, were people like excited? Were people like fired up about it? Were people like you said they were egging you on, but like were people following? Were you gaining interest through that entire, how you said it was 2 hours?
I mean, I kind of have like a little cult following, and people were just like staying tuned, watching like it's like just watching a house fire.
Or a car crash, right?
Yeah. And then after that I went to Reddit, and I blew up on Reddit, and then I don't remember what the post was. I posted one weird photo that I didn't think was attractive at all, and people were like, damn, wow, this is hot. I'm like, you find this hot? So then I made it like my vendetta on Reddit to try and see how gross I could be while still having people find me attractive.
So you wanted to see it. What was the line from hot to not? You want to try and find the hot to not line.
And then I made a TikTok. I had 2 TikTok accounts before the one I have now. My first one got banned when I started blowing up when I dressed up like Jesus and like did some stuff with a Bible to like a gay yaoi hentai song.
I can see that upsetting some folks in the States specifically, where we are.
And then that got
No, I'm sorry, you're saying.
Yeah, I know. And then I had one other TikTok account. That one blew up originally because of a video of me in a box. And then that one also got deleted within a few weeks. So I've been very careful with the one I have now, and I'm almost back where I was with my previous TikTok account.
So you're very confident, it seems, and you really like to test the boundaries. Where do you think that comes from in general for you? I'm sure you apply that to your regular life as well.
I honestly have no idea, really. I just think it's funny to invoke any emotions in people that I possibly can, whether they be positive or negative. Maybe I'm just bored.
I completely get it. Like, I do definitely no doubt respect people's emotions, but it's interesting to see how far people will go. And like anyone over the past few years, you and as you get older, you learn maybe some people learn, some people don't, that things aren't really that deep or serious. Like, as long as you don't, obviously commit a crime or you purposely or crude or do something offensive, things are going to be all right. And this concept, especially here in the States, of like a cancel culture, or, make an example of somebody that might be doing something completely different, or maybe testing the boundaries. It's interesting how like seriously people take that. And I'm somebody who likes to play into that as well. And like Ryan could attest it. Like, I text him a lot about, I pretty much text him about things like people are getting canceled for. And I might take a side that I'm not serious about, but I just want to see his reaction, because I do think Ryan generally has one of the best opinions I have. And it's nice to see someone else have that kind of mindset too. Like, test the boundaries, because it's not that deep ultimately.
Yeah, and like even on my pig video, the amount of comments that I've gotten or stitches I've gotten from people that are like taking it so seriously is just really weird. Mainly actually, there's a lot of people bringing race into it. I've gotten so many comments saying that like the white people shit comments are just funny. Like,
right.
Yeah. Fair enough. This is white people.
We had a video. We had a clip that people got mad at us for talking about white people music. So
yeah. But there's like a lot of people commenting on it saying like they're returning to their natural environment. Your ancestors were all cave people. We should have killed you and never let you subjugate us. And I'm like, bro, I'm literally just wearing a pig nose and sitting in some mud.
So yeah. I want to ask about that real quick, the pig, because I mean, we told you when we reached out to you, we were actually, I don't know if you know the story, but on live 2 weeks ago on TweetCap, we watched your video, and that's when we reached out to you.
Exactly, and we commented, and I myself will admit I was just trying to understand, like, how I was trying to understand, like, what gave the confidence to do that, like. I did mention like quote unquote traditional routes, and you did something completely different. So I'll admit to maybe not understanding at first. And another reason why I reached out to you to ask about that. But then also realizing, after I made that clip and you being thankful enough to agree to come on, it's just like, yeah, I don't know why I did take that too seriously. So I'll admit at first I probably was one of those, but like, also playing into that as well, because I mean, I said what I had to say for the show, but
for the show, right? My question wasn't even about that. Mine was like the idea. Obviously, at some point you hadn't made the video and you were sitting somewhere. Could have been your house, could have been the grocery store, your car, and suddenly you said, "I know what my next video is," and that was it. So how did you get the idea? Like, what happened that made you think, "Oh, this is perfect"?
I bought like some prosthetics I'm gonna do like an alien thing and paint myself green, but I was ordering prosthetics for this alien thing and I saw a pig nose and I remembered that I had done a chinchilla dust bath and I was like, oh, I could make this like a series and I can do pig mud bath. So I originally was going to put the mud in the tub, but then I realized cleanup would actually be way harder because I can't roll in my tub because it's small, so I need enough to fill it up, and that would just be.
You'd be bathing in it, and then that's whole tub.
I can't like put it down the drain. I'd have to scoop it out in a garbage bag, and that would be insane. So it was a continuation of something that I had already done. There was like no thought behind it, and a lot of people also have been saying like, "Oh, somebody paid for this. This is definitely fetish content."
We have heard that.
Yeah,
I get it too. I do see it in hindsight 100%. It looks like a kink mask as well, but I just wanted to do pig mud bath because I had done chinchilla dust bath.
So you just did it. It looked like who cares?
Yeah.
And I find that you learn like people who make all these special songs that last a lifetime. People write these movies and stories. It's literally them. Yeah, I wrote this worldwide hit. Like Taylor Swift writes, I don't know, You Belong With Me in 15 minutes, just doodling things, and it helped launch your career and stuff like that. And it seems we have another example of you going viral for this. You just did it one day, and here we are.
Taylor Swift could never match my brilliance.
I don't think. I'll tell you this. I don't think I could see Taylor Swift doing anything that you do.
I'm too brave.
I think there's some truth to that. I was going to say though, because you mentioned we were talking about the kink comment and the kink content, right? And so Matt and I, for the last 2 weeks we told you a little bit about this before we got on. We've had some people who are really interested with what we were going to do in an interview here, because they thought that all the content was like paid for people to use in that way, right?
I don't do customs. No one's ever paid me for anything that I've done.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's all you put it out there, and if you like it, great, they interact, and then that's how that happens.
Exactly.
But it's no one is paying ahead of time to like create something. It's all like it's like you just do what you do, and people show you with their engagement, their wallet, whatever, that they're into it or they're not, based on how they interact.
Now, have people given you donations of your fans, and have people, I don't know if you have a Cash App or anything, have people done that? Or like if you go on, I don't know if you've done TikTok live, but I know people can donate there. Have you received compensation that way, or in essence?
All the money that I've ever made from everything I've done is just OF subscriptions. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I keep it at $5. I'm never going to change it. And I've got like hundreds of videos and thousands of pictures. So I think that's fine. And like, I make enough money doing that I don't really care enough. Plus I find it I don't want to say cringe. It just doesn't feel right to do customs. Like, I'll take suggestions. Like, one guy messaged me and said, and I still got to do this, I just need the appropriate setup. He wants a mafia boss jerk off instruction video. I think that would be hilarious. I'm gonna do like the full bald cap, the stash. Like, I have
Marlon
to practice.
Brando.
I'm gonna
just
practice
as the mafia
the accent,
intended it.
and I'm gonna have like my boyfriend standing behind me in a suit with his arms like clasped and glasses on, and like a water pistol on his side, and I'm going to whip your cock out for me. Like, I can't do the accent. Yeah, I can't do the accent right now, but I will learn it. And I need a proper office space. Once me and my boyfriend move into this basement suite we're going to, then I think I'll be able to like make a set for it.
Does your boyfriend help with a lot of content, or like you do a lot together, or is it just like, because this one, for the mafia aesthetic, you need to have a heavy in order?
Yeah, I more so like, we've filmed a few things together, but I usually prefer to do it on my own, especially because I'm usually doing really whack, weird shit.
Right.
It's not his sense of humor. I respect that. It's my sense of humor. He just kind of like lets me do me.
Yeah, like a good supportive boyfriend like that. Now, sticking with the OnlyFans theme right here, one question I like to ask is, we mentioned about you getting paid for it, $5, and what would be that OnlyFans if people were interested to check that out?
It's just Karra.
There's Karra, so it's K-A-R-R-A.
Double R-A, yeah.
Yep.
I was surprised that I got that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Hey,
and that's not even
meant to be.
Was that your first account? Like, was that like that one has
only,
no band, right?
Only account, yeah.
Okay.
I was scared it was going to get deleted for a while because I didn't realize I couldn't have fake blood, which I mean makes sense. But I did a post with like a deer leg that my friend gave me with like the hoof and the fur still on it.
Oh my!
Lots of fake blood, yeah.
I see. Now, you don't have to go with the exact details, but with the exact finances. But do you at least make enough cash that you could live on your own to pay rent, pay utilities, and stuff like that?
Yeah, not live like fancy, but like I have a normal human life. Like rent is still like, oh my god, it's expensive, but like I can do it.
Right. And it's only OnlyFans, like, or it's only social media and like your content. That's how you pay. Like, you're part of everything. You've got no side gig underwriting it, no secret
or some career job.
No, I've had normal jobs. I just started making enough money from this that, but I am also doing schooling, so.
Oh, that's cool. What are you studying?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm taking a bunch of courses and a bunch of random stuff because I have no idea what I want to do. Like, my boyfriend, he very much wants to help solve problems, so he made like a whole doc of things that I might be interested in, and he's been making me like try out each one and like make sure that I absolutely don't want to do that before moving on to the next. So we're looking at architecture right now.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well, you can get creative in architecture.
Yeah.
So I know for someone like you, seems like you're creative.
I do like design. It's more so, do I want to do all the schooling involved in that and then do it for the rest of my life kind of deal? I just want a farm.
A farm?
I feel that.
Are you in a rural area? I mean, you mentioned the deer leg as well, so you might be. I don't know. But...
Well, I mean, maybe by American standards, I feel like the city I'm in, Prince George, it's not like rural, but it's small.
Yeah. Okay. Like, you could get to a grocery store in 5 to 10 minutes. Like, at least not like half an hour.
You're not super rural. My wife is from the Adirondack Park area in New York State. Like, not the city, the state, way up. And that's rural. That's like 30 minutes to get to like the Hannaford supermarket and like all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. Like, so more than that.
Yeah, there's like Prince George is like a normal town. It's more so just kind of isolated. There's not any big city centers nearby. I think the closest is like 6 hours away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Now, stick with the OnlyFans, right? So you're at a point where you have some type of following to get, good compensation. And how exactly did you get that following? Was it like, this show's about 3 years old. We're starting to grow a following ourselves, and we're still trying to learn how we go about getting a big audience. for you, was it more just always posting all the time? Was it, showing people like cold calling, DMing, hey, check this out? How did you gain the following you have right now?
I'm not necessarily totally sure. I feel like my one talent is being able to make shit go viral, whether it's for better or for worse. Because I've gone viral 4 or 5 separate times on completely different accounts, and then had everything deleted and started again from scratch, and then had it work out. Like when my last TikTok got deleted, I was like distraught. My boyfriend sits me down and he's like, "You have done this how many times? You'll be fine." And like
That's pretty impressive too.
I'm back to where I was before basically, and I'm fine. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it didn't really, like, I don't even post that much. I post like once every week or once every 2 weeks. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer, but
no, it's okay.
Just luck or I guess bait in a way. I'm good at like baiting.
Oh, expound on that.
Yes, if you could elaborate.
Good on baiting content. Like when I post the pig video that people aren't going to go, "Oh wow, that looks so fun." Like I know right. I didn't think I'd get as much shit as I did, but I know I'm going to get some kind of interactions regardless. Right. I also just think it's funny. Like the things that I post, I laugh while I'm editing them. Like I think it's funny.
And you edit the content yourself? Do you like use CapCut or Adobe Premiere?
I just looked up video editing on Play Store and then downloaded whatever had the best reviews. I don't even know what it's called.
So that's simple. So hey,
that's what I tried to do.
All you just do is put it out
standalone. I don't know if you knew that, Matt. When TweetCap was standalone for 4 months and it was just me, I just downloaded the first thing on Apple Store.
Yeah,
that still counts. It doesn't matter how you get there. You just make the video. And that's the cool thing that we're trying to learn, and meeting interesting people like you and having people like you on the platform hopefully helps us grow that. So
we did also discuss which animal we would be and 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
we did all have a powwow as to which one we would be. So what was it? I think the donkey and lamb. I think we ended up there. I get the lamb mask for myself. But our other co-host said donkey. So we'll keep that in. I don't know. We kind of took over from there. But we'll have to keep that in our back pocket. I was gonna ask though. So you mentioned that you find everything funny that you post.
Yeah.
Let's say you made a post and like no one interacted, right? It was Do you stand by all of them? You're not like, that wasn't worth it. Like you're like, I had a good time. Like, so basically you're posting to have a good time and the rest is gravy, or
well, like the fruit roll up ass thing. I actually thought that was really funny, and I thought that would blow up, and then it didn't, and I was like, well, you know what? You guys all suck. This is great.
I was going to ask you about that because I saw that too. So, looking at your account right now, that does have 263,000 views.
But that only happened because I pinned it when my pig video started blowing up because I was like, no, don't look at that. Look at this. This is the funny one.
Gotcha.
What inspired you exactly to create a fruit roll-ups dress to help make your buttocks bigger?
It's like sometimes my like I'll go to grocery stores and I'll just like I do prop hunts or I'll do prop shop with just me or with a friend or with my boyfriend. And I'll walk around, I'll just look at stuff and I'll think, can I do something weird with this? And I also have you ever seen the photo of the dude who's got his dick in his hand and he wrapped a fruit roll up around it?
So I haven't seen it, but I know of that.
Yeah.
So I actually happen to know about that too.
Yeah,
my wife was telling me about the fruit roll up. This is not me, by the way, saying that I did it, but this is me saying that my wife, who is on TikTok a lot more than me, was like, "Have you heard about this fruit roll up challenge or whatever?" And I was like, "No, what is it?" And so she told me to look it up. She didn't tell me that; she just told me to look it up.
Yeah.
So I did. So I do actually know what that was. I was gonna ask, was it like? Did it coincide with that? Were you thinking about that when you made it? Was it right at the same time, or was it just a coincidence that you
reinventing the wheel?
Yeah, I saw that, and then I went on like a prop hunt, and I saw the fruit roll-ups, and I was like, I could build a gigantic dumpy out of that if I wrap it enough.
So
it
fruit
took
roll-up
like 9 hours.
Really? Well, yeah, that was a lot for roll-ups.
Fruit roll-ups did not reach out for a sponsorship deal yet, did they?
No.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm showing the alternative uses for their products, so they should be pretty grateful.
Have you ever had people come to your socials looking to advertise, or no? Is it not that? Do they try and avoid it?
I feel like I've had a couple, but I just ignore them.
Mm.
I don't do ads. I don't do ads. I don't do like custom. I just want to do what I want to do, and I don't want to have to cater to anything that I don't want to just for money when I don't need any more money.
So your social then is really about like engaging with folks and then getting them. I mean, insofar as to make money, it would be about getting them to the OnlyFans. Like that's where it basically that's why like your Twitter,
like a big
your
advertising.
Insta, it's almost like this is what I do. If you like it, come check me out on like my main thing, which for you would be the OnlyFans. Or do you not see it that way?
Yeah, I guess like it is advertising, but then at the same time, like I make stuff for TikTok sometimes that's
exclusive.
I don't know. Yeah,
just another way to show your creative side.
It is all just advertising in a way, but I also just enjoy doing it. So it's more so the advertising is a byproduct of me just wanting to shitpost.
We get it.
Hey, I think if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, they say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
And I feel like as fellow content creators, like what helps makes us stick out, I feel like, not speak for Ryan, but I feel he would feel the same way. It's just making content regardless, like even if we are our only audience or if only our families are watching, we just like putting stuff out there. And I think that relatability helps. And that's why we hope to soon get clips that go into the millions like you have. And I think our way to do it is just being us, really. We've had a couple 50,000s. Our highest is 120,000. And we didn't really do anything different or special for those clips that have done better than others. We just put it out there.
Luck.
Yeah,
it is
really
a lot of luck. Oh, by the way, my family doesn't watch Matt, so we don't have to worry about that. That's 4 more people we can throw in there.
Yeah, I feel like for podcasts at least, it's just consistency, not being a shill, like being yourself.
Yeah,
and
do you like podcasts?
Yeah.
And staying productive.
I don't really listen to podcasts that much. That's just because I don't know. I just don't like if I'm watching something, I'm usually watching like an anime or something.
Right.
And if I'm not doing that, I'm gaming. If I'm not doing that, I'm out with the dogs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you have dogs?
Yeah. I'll come.
I won't call mine because he won't leave me alone if I do, but I have a dog as well.
I have a cat.
Come here. Big fat shit, come here. I miss you. This is Owl.
Owl? Nice to meet you, Owl.
Lift his head up. Oh.
Owl.
Oh, big guy.
Oh,
That's the big man. Look at him.
I like that. How'd you find Owl?
I initially actually wanted a smaller dog. I was gonna get a spaniel, and I had a spot lined up in an apartment. And then I saw him posted. He's a Pyrenees. I don't know if you know anything about the breed, but they are not a good dog for a first-time owner at all.
Really?
I did no research on the breed. I just thought, ooh, cute, fluffy puppy. And then I bought him. And I had to change my entire life and restructure everything so that I could fit around him. So,
yeah,
but I got him. He's 5.5 now.
Okay, so he's been around a while. I have a short hair pointer rescue. Same thing. That not apartment dogs is what we learned after we got him.
Yeah.
He's adjusted actually really well. But when we got him, he was like, "This is not outside." He wanted way more outside than we had to offer. So it was an adjustment. But yeah.
And like my name on everything is Real Karra actually, because my Reddit originally was called Real Owl.
Oh,
because I made the Reddit account for my dog. So yeah, a lot of people on Reddit as well used to think that my name was Owl, but it was just me taking over my dog's account.
For your dog, okay.
Not quite. Yeah, and I have like I mentioned, I have a cat named Larry. It's a tuxedo cat.
Oh, I heard a meow.
That was actually my cat who's upset with me.
His other.
I have too many animals. I'm actually outnumbered at the moment. But
yeah, I've got 2 rabbits, 2 guinea pigs, and 2 dogs.
Nice. Oh, you got a whole
hang out with
a whole little hangout there.
Yeah, one of my rabbits is free roam, so he's just got a litter box in the corner and he just runs around the house.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. He's a douche.
Good life.
He's eaten so many cords. He eats any snacks you leave anywhere. He can jump up. He'll go on the couch and eat snacks on ledges. He'll climb counters.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, rabbits they're very mobile. I mean, that's like their thing in the wild, right? To get away fast.
Yeah. So. But he is funny, so he's just kind of like entertaining to watch, if anything.
I feel that. So also just one more thing on the OnlyFans, right? So as you mentioned briefly before, so thing with OnlyFans, especially with the content with your OnlyFans, a little more, sexually explicit. I feel that there's like somewhat of a stigma to it as to any, pornography or stuff like that. And I feel though that stigma has lessened a little bit as society has grown to learn about it and stuff. And obviously it's only for adults and stuff like that. So with that stigma though, and as somebody who makes that kind of comment, does that bother you? Does that empower you? Do you, as you mentioned, do you just not care? Like when it comes to the stigma of OnlyFans, what would you have to say for somebody who may not understand, OnlyFans or may not agree with it if you're doing that type of stuff?
I mean, I get the stigma. I've just never been uncomfortable with nudity. I think that's part of the reason why I'm okay doing the stuff that I do is that I've just never necessarily felt shame attached to nudity. I mean, I'm very much used to nude saunas and stuff growing up.
Right.
But I do think that it shouldn't necessarily be encouraged. Like, I don't think you should be shamed for it. Like, if somebody's doing it, like, you do you. But I do feel like I see too many young girls that are just like, oh, I'm 18. It's time to start up the OnlyFans. I'm like, no, you should only be doing this if there's some specific reason why you really want to do it. I feel like, there's creators I see online that are just pure porn stars. Like they just purely do like normal porn related stuff and they love it. They think it's super fun. They love bringing enjoyment to other people. Like that's great. But then there's other girls that I've seen their content and I can just tell that they don't really want to be doing it. And I feel like for those kinds of people, it should just be encouraged that you should look into other options before going into it. I don't know. Yeah, I understand the stigma. I just think you should treat everyone as humans, regardless of if you don't like what they're doing. But I mean, it's never bothered me because no one in my life gives a shit. So
exactly, and I think that is a valuable lesson.
How is that having that support system? Like, you just said everyone is cool with it. Like, was it something you brought up at all, or did you start doing it and then the people in your life like saw it and like, oh, cool? Like, what came first? Did you talk about it with like, your family and your friends? Or did they just kind of find out as you started doing stuff and they just were cool with it?
My mom actually originally found out when for Mother's Day, I was finally making more money than I was making at the grocery store. And I was like, I want to get my mom some nice shit. So I got her this like beautiful ruby like earring and necklace set for Mother's Day and took her out to a fancy restaurant. And then she initially actually asked me if I was escorting. And I was like, okay, I can tell her now because she didn't actually seem that upset about the escort line of questions.
Right. Yeah. You sound like, okay, we started worse and wasn't horrible. So if I go back a step, we should be fine.
And like, I was doing this as well before I met my current boyfriend. So I kind of had to break the news to him in a way that, hey, just let you know, I have an OnlyFans. But I feel like it was a lot more palatable in my case because there's no content of me like fucking other people on there. There's it's not like, it's not really a lot of normal stuff. So I kind of told him, imagine if like Filthy Frank or Eric Andre made an OnlyFans.
That's my guy. He does have an OnlyFans actually. Eric Andre actually has. Yeah, he actually did make one, like for real. And if you want to see all of Eric Andre, you go to there.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like always been how I would describe it. It's like if like Filthy Frank or fucking Eric Andre was a woman and made an OnlyFans.
Right. I think that that's a solid example for that. And I think you made the most important point clear is let humans be humans. And, maybe I never saw it as a problem. And I've interviewed OnlyFans models before. And that was just and I was trying to explain I'm having an OnlyFans. And, the first thing people think of, oh, you got to talk about, or you could talk about the specific sex acts. You got to say, like, talk to your guest about, like, what do they like? Dick size and all that. And I said, no, that's not necessarily what we're doing. We're really talking about more of the empowerment and why they are doing in the content.
I do think like one positive aspect of OnlyFans is like I do see a lot of glaring issues in the porn industry, obviously, with like the treatment of like the actors, actresses.
Right.
And at least on OnlyFans, you're working for yourself and you're being paid by people to see your content. So I do think OnlyFans is a really good way around a lot of like issues surrounding pornography.
Some of the CD production stuff.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily find OnlyFans to be bad. Like it is in a way a solution to some issues that like normal porn poses.
Definitely. And it's just another way of creating content, of all the various content. Yeah. And that's what I was trying to explain. Like, no, that's not the focus. Like, don't think we're trying to be horny guests or anything, because we're the farthest thing from it. We're just talking about, this one aspect of our guests' life, specifically you and your content creation. And the way I explained it. Yes.
I think if you were just asking about like positions and sex and shit like that, eventually like it's gonna dry up. There's only so many positions.
Like that's something you experience yourself, and you know what you like, and obviously do it consensually too. So, and
have you ever had have you ever had a subscriber or someone who was maybe getting to like into you, like started constantly reaching out to you or whatever, or has everyone been pretty respectful on your platform? No, obviously no names, just out of curiosity.
There was one guy in high school that I got set up on a blind date with, who became obsessed with me when he found out about the stuff I was doing online. Yeah, and I later found out he had a girlfriend and a child, and he was also no, like currently when he was obsessing over me, sending dick pics, trying to call me on Discord at 3 a.m. even though I've never responded to him ever. I've never responded to him. And he also started becoming really obsessed with my friends. So we both just told his wife what was going on and then blocked him on everything. Yeah.
It's too bad when somebody thinks like that.
Yeah, it is too bad, but I figured it had to have happened. That's why I was just curious.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have possibly the coolest fans ever.
I have a Discord, and I've had people in this Discord that have been there like since the OG ketchup video, like 5-6 years ago.
Wow.
And they're all like super chill. They have normal like political convos, like convos about their cars and their lives and their workout routines and shit in my Discord.
Have you ever met any of them in real life? Like, has there ever been a get together of real car enthusiasts? Yeah.
I don't actually. There was one time I had my friend dog sitting for me while I was in Vancouver, but she had to leave early, so she said my friend will come, but just so you know, he like is in all your stuff online, so it might be weird if you see him. And then I pull up to the house and I'm like, hey, I'm Karra. He's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'll just go. And then he kind of like ran away, but I wasn't trying to rush him.
Right.
And he told my friend, she seems a lot more normal in person. It freaked me out.
I think that's a cool thing too with humanizing, all our content creators.
I was just about to say that. Like, you probably get that a lot from people who know you in both worlds. Like,
oh yeah. But the majority of people on Discord I haven't met, but there's some of them that I definitely would if we didn't live like super far apart.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have fans, like, are they spread out everywhere? Like, what's what's the makeup?
The whole world or mostly Canada or United States?
I blew up in Brazil with the pig video. Like, I don't know, on my Instagram, I've got like fuckloads of Brazilian comments right now. I was posted on like
Portuguese and everything.
Yeah, I was posted to like dozens of meme accounts with like over 2 million followers, like two weeks ago or something. And Brazilian meme pages actually tag the people that they post. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's funny.
They get a little credit for it too.
Yeah. I was seeing. I know somebody who lives in Brazil. I want to know if she saw you on,
you
one of the Brazilian memes. I could, I could ask her. She was somebody I used to see for a little bit, but we're actually have a cool relationship. We wish each other happy birthday still.
Nice.
And talk from time to time. Yeah, she's really, really sweet. In fact, I'm gonna ask her if she's seen you.
The pig video, yeah.
Have you seen the video? Or she, she's very supportive of the pod still, and maybe she'll see, hey, I saw you, and now they know Matt.
Yeah.
So we'll ultimately see there. But I guess the last thing to put a bow with the OnlyFans talk is like mostly the content creation I should say, then like talk about some other things. Like, is there ultimately an end goal? Do you still want to just keep growing your fan base, see where that leads you, or you just gonna keep doing you and see what happens? Or do you have any other goals with that?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. I mean, I recognize that I don't really want to do it forever. Like, I don't want to be 40 on OF still. So that's why I'm trying to figure out school-wise, like, what I actually want to put the majority of my time and effort into. But in the meantime, just kind of going to keep doing what I'm doing.
That's awesome. And is there anything to say, like, anybody who may be intimidated by OnlyFans and stuff like that? Like we mentioned, or
just content creation in general. Like, making a YouTube video is kind of scary too, or a TikTok. So just in general, like content creation,
I just know your platform, know what is popular on the platform, and know how to get attention. And for OnlyFans, be sure, like, if you're doing like not safe for work content, just be sure that you have good internal reasons for wanting to do it.
Awesome.
I think that's good advice.
While we've now talked about some other things, we pretty much got that with talk about cosplaying and OnlyFans and stuff like that. Why don't we just now talk about some other things in life? So, Karra, you mentioned you content create, cosplay, you're in school. Like, what other things does Karra like to do? Like, do you like to work out? You already mentioned you watch anime. Do you like to paint or anything like that, or anything artistic? Or you clearly are very good at making costumes and stuff. Like, do you like to do that for fun? What other interesting things do you do?
I'm actually very big into outdoors stuff, like survivalist camping. I haven't gone for a little while because Actually, I don't really know. I have gone for a while. It's just too it's too cold right now. But
I get it. Yeah,
the city I'm in, Prince George, is like, there's not a lot to do here, but the surrounding area, it's gorgeous. It looks like it's out of movies. It's stunning.
Really?
So there's a lot of area around here for me to explore. There's even actually a rainforest nearby here. It's the only temperate inland rainforest in the world, and it's got like a whole bunch of endemic species there that I can maybe try to check out, which would be cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I play piano. I do draw. I don't draw as much as I used to, but yeah, drawing, piano, League, lots of League. Cooking. I'm a good cook. I'm a very good cook.
Ooh, what's your go-to dish? Like, it's dinner time. What's your go-to dish?
I make a lot of ratatouille.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. And I make it like the one in the movie. I like this, like, that's the first time I ever made it, and I just liked it a lot. And I don't tend to love vegetables, but I love vegetables when I do that. So
interesting.
So this might be a stereotypical Canadian question. Do you like poutine?
Oh, fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
For us in the state, at least here in the Northeast, poutine is a great bar food, people, or I should say after the bar food, like really pre-hangover. People love our poutine in Connecticut. I don't know why. Like,
can I just say, I went to school in Western New York, so like think Rochester, Buffalo area, which is not far from Canada, and so we had this poutine truck that people like clamored for. They wanted it to come, right? So we've got this truck come, and I had it, and I was like, it's fine. I was not obsessed with poutine. I don't know.
Maybe you had a bad poutine truck.
I may have. It was off a truck, so I don't know. Like, but
I mean, for me, it's kind of like a good burger versus a bad burger. Like, you can have a burger that the meat's flavorless, the bun's soggy, and the vegetables are old, or you can have one where seasoned to perfection, bun's crisp, vegetables are fresh. It's like with a poutine, you got to have your crispy fries, your cheese got to melt well, gravy's got to be seasoned and actually taste like real gravy and not like packet.
Right. So it's not like pizza, because like pizza, I think, like, I mean, I've had some really bad pizza. I've had some really good pizza because of where I'm from.
Yeah.
But like, no matter what, it's always kind of like pizza, and you can always just get behind it. I feel like poutine can't be that. Like, you got to have like a good place that makes it well.
Some people see poutine like pizza, like, they'll take it or leave it. For me, I can't, because I'm very picky with my gravy, at least. Like, if it tastes like it's not gravy, I can't do it.
So what's cool is, since you are technically the first ever international guest of this pod. I interviewed an old friend, but she was living in Iceland at the time.
Yeah.
So I guess our second international, and you don't really talk to. I don't know, Ryan. You don't know any Canadians, do you?
I mean, I do, but they live here.
Exactly. We don't an authentic Canadian.
Yeah.
So, I assume it's probably this. Like you said, we're the same age. It's probably the same. Is Canada that much different than living in Canada than living in the United States in your mid to late 20s? I assume it's probably the same.
I have no idea, because I've never lived in the States. And I haven't had a lot of discussions about life in the States. I guess one thing is,
do we seem crazy on our side here with what's going on in America?
Careful, Matt.
No more so than here. Like, it feels pretty similar, except I guess sometimes Americans appear pretty dumb about like international stuff, on like not even like political related. They just don't know anything.
Yeah, sometimes we don't.
Like anywhere, like. Or like, I know like basically almost every state, but how many Americans can name all the provinces when there's only like, I don't even know how many there are.
There's what, 6 or 6, 7, 8.
And then there's a few territories, but there's
I think
many.
you're looking at 2 Americans who almost certainly couldn't name all 6
But
provinces.
do you guys know what the capital city of Canada is?
Ottawa?
Toronto, or is that an American answer?
It's Ottawa. I'm right.
Ottawa.
Calgary.
I actually knew the answer to that.
I saw a video of Americans answering that question, and I was so surprised at the majority who said Winnipeg. On what planet would Winnipeg be a fucking capital city? That's like the gamble drunk capital.
Is it really?
Is it? That's
not like a Vegas
casino area or whatever?
It's like the Vegas.
Yeah. It's like Vegas, but if everyone there was over 50 and depressed, and then you put like a gray filter over the whole place.
Oh, so it's like Atlantic City. It's Atlantic City.
It's just it's just depressing, and everyone's hammered, and there's a lot of crime.
Oh man! So one thing, are you a hockey fan? I love NHL hockey. I'm a big Ranger fan.
I'm not really into sports, actually. Nah, not really.
No worries.
I used to play baseball, but
never. Really? What kept you out of baseball, since you don't play anymore? What was the last straw for baseball, or just grew out of it?
I was just doing a lot. I was in gymnastics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I was in this thing called the IB program in high school, which is where you're taking like university courses in high school. And so I just kind of, it fizzled, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I was living in Kamloops for a little while in BC, and then I moved back to Ontario for high school, but my dad wasn't making me go to school. And so I was skipping too many days, and he just didn't care. And I needed somebody to force me. So I moved back to BC to live with my mom for grade 12, so she would force me to go to school. Yeah. And baseball's not as big here as it was back home. So
gotcha.
I feel that. Yeah, baseball in America is having its ups and downs with popularity. Yeah. But I'm a big Yankee fan, so that's all that matters to me.
I think it's so fun to play. And I like how when you're watching a game, a lot of times it's just the character of the people there that makes it fun to watch, because sometimes
totally
nothing is happening.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to the Bronx or Queens for the Yankees or the Mets, it's the stands are usually like a whole separate world of New Yorkers.
It is very a regional sport here in America too. Dude, Do you still have a favorite baseball team though? Is there any players you like
No,
to stick
I
out?
never actually watched baseball. I just enjoyed playing it, and like, well, like I'd watch games like for teams playing in my hometown, but never actually watched like a pro game. My brother is named after a black player on the Blue Jays.
Is it Joe Carter?
His name was Devin, so I'm not sure,
Devin?
but yeah. My
Man,
grandma's really racist, so my mom had to lie about who she named him after.
Devin, yeah, I'm trying
grandmas.
to think. I have to say, Devin, Canadian baseball. I know Joey Votto is Canadian.
He was a Blue Jay, right?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Devon White?
That sounds right, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it says here 3-time won the World Series with the Blue Jays.
It's got to be right.
92 and 93. Yeah. All right, Devon White. How about that? Or Devin White?
Yeah, now he's Devin.
Excuse me, my bad. Devin.
I don't know if it's Devin or Devon, but they named him Devin with an I. So
that's mad cool. So one of the things I wanted to also switch up this Canadian American discussion. Is there any questions you have about America or Americans while we have here? Like,
what fast food place would you recommend I go to on my first day if I go there?
It depends a little bit on where you go, I'll be honest. But Matt, you go first.
If I had to pick like any fast food in the United States, you know, my first thought would just say the it's all good.
He wants that fast food. He wants that fast food.
So what came to my head first was I thought like McDonald's, but that's international. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, those are international. But I think one specific American one would be Shake Shack is great. That's around the country.
Yeah, my boyfriend said we have to go to Shake Shack when we go to the States next.
I think that's the go-to. In-N-Out Burger is really great. That's mostly on the West Coast. I've had before, which is fantastic. Five Guys, people love.
Five Guys is great.
I had Five Guys for the first time in Vancouver. They actually have one in all BC, and it's like in Vancouver. Okay. And I got the hot dog with bacon, and I didn't expect the bacon to be crispy or the hot dog to be like as good as it was. I can't find a hot dog that good anywhere else, like even at good restaurants here.
The hot dogs are pretty good here. I was gonna say, to add to this, if you head down south, there's a place called Whataburger, and that's very good. I've had it only a couple of times. I had it once. Yeah, I had it in Pensacola. And then I had it in Alabama, and then I had it in Alabama, and so and I had them back to back. So like they were, because the Pensacola one was good and the Alabama was great, and it made the Pensacola one better in my mind somehow. But so if you're down south, I would say Whataburger is definitely a good shout too. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like local to here, a good fast food place in DC.
Have to go on the Keith account on TikTok and look up if he's got reviews in any city I'm stopping by.
Which cities? Seriously, he's the man, Keith Lee. Now, your next trip to the States, wherever it is, where are you planning to go?
Oh, I have no plans, like at all.
Just anywhere in the country. You might go to Wyoming.
Well, actually, my boyfriend really wants to move to Wyoming. Because I am obsessed with mountains. Like when I say outdoor stuff, I'm actually mainly, I should say, like, I don't want to say mountaineering. Like I don't have the gear and shit. I just like wearing my runners and then taking off for the day with like a backpack. But like I really, really like getting to a peak of a mountain. Like I feel this immense like sense of like gratification. So we were looking at states where there's cheap housing and really pretty mountains, and Wyoming was the one that he was looking at.
A lot of love for there.
I don't think he'd be able to make as much money with his work there. He's a massage therapist, and it's not like medically licensed in the States the same way it is here.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, like here it's covered under our work safe, so like people can go see him for free and they write it off for their job to pay for.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Montana.
Wyoming, home of Josh Allen, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Wyoming is where Josh Allen is from?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that. I think I assumed he was from Buffalo.
Any chance the NFL's big in Canada?
I have no idea. I'm sure. Well, no, I would say so. It just depends on the city you're in, because I've definitely seen like game night kind of shit at bars and whatnot, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the NFL is big. I'm wearing the NFL hat. And, one thing that's interesting to talk with someone who's Canadian is we do have this bubble here in America thinking everything's key. And NFL is one of those things that we assume is as big as it is in the country. And it's, like anything else, it's not. And that helps prove my point when they want to move NFL out of the United States.
When I lived in Thunder Bay, though, high school football there is taken very seriously.
Yeah,
you go to Texas in the States, same exact thing. Mm-hmm. Every high school in Texas loves their football.
There was an arena that was near my old house, and like me and my friends, everybody would paint their faces before we went. All the schools had like cheerleaders. I have never gone to another city that was as crazy about football as there, but no one really cared about pro play there. It was just like high school rivalries and all that kind of shit.
Makes sense. It's an amazing game to watch, and I love it. I cover both college and NFL on the show every week, and I could talk all day about that stuff. And it's interesting to, talk with people not from America about it as well. Mm-hmm. So this is solely a question I want to ask simply for me and Ryan, only because Ryan, you might know where we're going. Any chance Canadian pro wrestling? Is it any interest or hear of it? Mainly because there's a lot of famous pro wrestlers in the United States who are from Canada genuinely. Just curious if it's big in Canada, as all this great talent comes to America for it.
I'm not really sure. The only thing I can say about it is I've gone to 2 different high schools, and at both high schools I went to, they had like really nice wrestling facilities. Full matted rooms, like their own locker rooms.
We didn't have that in our high. They had to set the mats up at our high school, Matt.
We had like mats on like attached to the walls, on the floors.
Yeah. This is where
spare mats in the corners. Yeah,
that's where Edge fought, Ryan.
Me and my sister used to coach competitive cheerleading for a while, and we had to use the mat rooms outside of their time because we can't really practice on the hardwood in the gym.
Well, yeah, you don't want to get dropped on the hard floor or whatever.
May I ask you, Ryan, were you about to say something?
No, go for it.
I looked up famous Canadians and just curious what you may think of these people in a few words, being from Canada. Drake. You like Drake?
I just think of the fucking Drake memes every time I think of Drake.
One from Degrassi?
Wait, the what from Degrassi?
The one from Degrassi is what I said, but that's very apropos because does include that as well.
It's like Drake is the type of dude to say, "Gee willikers," when something bad happens.
That kind of shit. Yeah, he's Drake's the type of guy to put his arms around his friends and say, "I'm so glad we did this."
Drake's the type of dude to sit when he's in an argument with someone to say, "You're just like a broken needle. You're missing the point."
I think that's a good one. I would use that.
How about
Drake's the kind of guy? I used to be really into Avril Lavigne when I was a kid.
Didn't know that Avril Lavigne was Canadian.
I was obsessed with Avril Lavigne.
I'm gonna learn. This is gonna be me learning all these celebrities are Canadian. That's what this segment is gonna be.
But I didn't mean to interrupt your Drake joke. Were you about to say something?
Oh fuck! What was it? Drake's the kind of guy to say, "I really needed this" after opening up to a friend.
How about this? This is one of the most beloved people in the world, Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah. I
thought he was from California.
It's a red flag not to like him.
Yeah, it definitely is. Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
I knew that one.
How about Sandra Oh?
I'm sure I would know her if I saw her face. I just don't know celebrities that well. I don't keep in touch with a lot of celebrity culture.
Sandra,
how about Justin Bieber though?
Yeah. Oh God. I have never been a believer.
No. Or what about?
Oh, Sandra Oh, I didn't know she was Canadian.
Grey's Anatomy. I didn't either. See, I don't feel bad because I didn't know that, and that's okay.
How about Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah,
I knew that
funny.
one.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
Pamela Anderson.
Don't know enough about her to say anything.
Or Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
He's not Canadian, is he?
Yeah. Oh,
Jim
yeah.
Carrey's Canadian.
I don't know.
Toronto.
And I've got like 3 of these. I know them all, but I only know 3 of them were Canadian.
Michael J. Fox.
That one I knew.
And did you even know? Fun fact. Hayden Christensen and Deadmau5 are Canadian.
I didn't know Deadmau5 was Canadian.
Deadmau5 is the one with the mask, right?
Yeah. Ryan, the lead singer of a band Ryan always hated on, Chad Kroeger of Nickelback.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know the words to like every Nickelback song.
So do I.
Like,
See,
ever.
Ryan,
so do I, Matt. You're making things up.
Karra, what do you think about Creed?
Oh God.
Creed.
Just in general, it's literally must be an American joke, Ryan. Everybody makes fun of this band called Creed, but they created one of the greatest halftime shows of all time.
They are boring. They're so boring, Matt.
Are they like the American Nickelback?
You know what? In a way, yes.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard some of their music before, but like a lot of times I just do not remember the names of like artists, actors.
Yeah,
I feel that. And of course, if you're interested in any Americans, we can always answer that too.
Yeah.
Like
we know them all personally.
Donald Trump.
Oh God.
I
think everyone knows
hop
that one
on that.
I noticed you made some Trump content.
Did I?
I think so. Yeah, like look through your Instagram.
Oh, I have a meme slideshow called Trimp 2024.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's just a meme slideshow though. But,
I would probably say my favorite Canadian celebrity is Seth Rogen. That's probably the one.
Fair enough. Fair take. I think Keanu Reeves. I mean, I don't think there's ever been like a celebrity or an influencer or artist or anything that I've ever like followed. I guess. Yellow Days. I don't know where they're from, but I really like their band. I followed them for quite a little while.
Yellow Days. That's a cool name.
Are they alt? Are they?
It says here R&B and soul.
Soul, okay.
The guy's voice sounds so unlike what he looks like it would sound like.
I see right here. He's like a blonde guy,
albino looking dude.
Right.
He's got a very, very, very deep voice.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to check him out after.
Yeah.
So we got a few more minutes to go here. Now we can go back and talk about, dating in life.
Oh, yes. We have to give Matt a couple bits of advice so he can try it tomorrow.
Oh, man, I hope this goes well. But I'm just asking, you mentioned you met somebody special to you on Tinder. And, one question actually I want to say, I've noticed a lot of people who seem very cynical toward dating app culture. And not that I necessarily was cynical to dating app culture. I realize it's not the apps that are doing anything wrong. You're just not meeting the right person. I'm sure you could probably agree with that, right?
Yeah. A lot of times when I'm on the apps, like I feel like a lot of people just give too much time to people that it's very obvious they aren't clicking with. Like if I was always a girl who would message first. If I'm interested in a dude, I will message him first to show him that I am interested. And I would send like a full paragraph with several points that he could respond to and make conversation. And if I get back, oh, haha, that's so cool, I ghost. I'm done.
That means he didn't read it, right?
Or they just, if you're not willing to interact with me on this dating app, like where we're meeting, like a lot of times they'll just want to meet in person straight away. And I always say, like, I just want to have a conversation first. Like, what do you want in life? Like, I want to get to know you a little bit first. But yeah, I think a lot of it does come down to luck too. Like sometimes people go on dating apps and they're not necessarily serious about actually wanting to find someone to spend the rest of their life with, right? Like they're just seeing what's out there, testing the waters, even though they feel like they might be looking for something serious. They're not really internally.
I think that's very, very, very true. And a lot of people are afraid of that commitment, and some people aren't ready for whatever reason. But I think, and for you two who actually have partners, I think it seems that it really is when it comes down to the chemistry and knowing whether or not this is your person you can mesh well and feeling some type of comfortability to it. And I have been in relationships like that and they didn't work out for whatever reason, but I'm not gonna blame the circumstances. Of course I've learned from my mistakes from it, but I've learned you just go with the flow and let that quote unquote love find you. And since then, I felt better about going on apps. I felt more comfortable being myself. And it's just up to them if they want to get to know me more, and no hard feelings if they don't. And of course, if even the worst case scenario, maybe they're playing with my heartstrings, maybe they're not communicating clearly, I still won't find it that cynical. I might be upset in the moment, but I learn at the end of the day, it really is. It's how you feel about them and they feel about you. And there's no app that can dictate that or a culture to it. You just have to meet that person whenever that comes. Some people find it earlier than others. That's just part of life,
Yeah, and it's like communication is definitely the most important part. And that's why I would ghost people immediately if they show me that they can't even respond to the first message that I've sent them.
Fail instantly. Instant fail.
I always had jokes and I would try to show my humor and who I was through my profile, and I guess I maybe went a little too far because on me and my boyfriend's first date, he informed a bunch of his friends of where he was going, his exact location, because we were going on a hike in the mountains.
Oh man, he was worried.
He thought I was gonna kill him.
He was worried.
I had a knife on me, but that's because I'm a small female going into the mountains behind my house with a guy.
You don't know, right?
So I think it was fair of me to have my knife. But
that's so interesting because when you talk you hear that story so much, a group of girls talk to each other, be like, I'm going X or Y with so and so, just as a heads up, right? To have it be the other way, to have a guy be like, listen, I'm up there.
I didn't even tell my friends. He told his friends. I didn't tell my friends. I was
you had the knife. You didn't need to tell your friends.
I also had my dog with me, and my dog is larger than me, so I think he might have something to say about it if he tried to hurt me.
Indeed.
And now you're together, so you got
And I also don't think it's as formulaic as people put it as well. I think you just see where those vibes go. I'm sure they could test for you too in your situations, right?
Yeah, I mean, when we at the time, I had decided I just want to date someone. I'm lonely, I have nothing to do, I want to meet someone. So I had met a few guys, and I actually had another guy that I was talking to around the time I met my boyfriend, but it was clear to him that I was talking to other people. And when I started feeling more serious about my boyfriend, I said you're a great dude, but I have to explore this connection with somebody else. And we ended amicably. And now he has a fiance, and he looks very happy, and he's moved to a new town. So I'm super happy for him. But
that's incredible. It really is.
Yeah. My boyfriend and I now, we started dating. He told me he loved me 2 weeks later, and then we basically moved in immediately, and we've been together for almost 3 years now.
Oh, that's amazing. Congrats.
So in your dating history, I'm sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I was just curious, is he around your age too?
Yeah, he's 27.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
In your dating history, because you were dating while you were doing your various online creations.
Yeah.
Did it come up early, or did you wait? When was the time? When would you pop that into the comment? First date or fourth date?
First date, because end of the first date, because I wanted him to get to know me a little bit first before dropping the bomb. I didn't want to drop it and then have him be thinking about that in the back of his head the whole time. Right? Yeah. But I wouldn't go past the first date without informing them, because I feel that's not necessarily fair, because I don't think it's wrong to not want to date somebody who has the kind of online presence that I do. It's more preference, and that's totally fine. So
did anyone drop it and be like, oh cool, but I'm not into that? Or
no, actually I never had anyone have an issue with it. Most of them said they would have an issue with it if there was content of me sleeping with other people on it. But then again,
makes sense.
Like, you know, we're around people similar to us. I'm not going to go on a date with a guy usually who would have like issues with sex workers. So, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, you know, you're obviously your group is like probably more open.
My preferences are going to filter for that most of the time.
Yeah,
for sure. And, you know, branching off that too and talking about, you know, when you went on your first date and, you know, hanging out, do you feel like there was, you felt that comfortability right away? You felt like, okay, I don't know necessarily, you know, love at first sight, but I was like, okay, this is a person I can at least, I'm definitely down to, you know, just spend more time with pretty much. Like you felt good right away.
For me, I don't like, I'm autistic, and I tend to just ramble. So for me, the first step is always like, if I'm rambling, will they be weird about it, or will they encourage it and like continue to like drive the conversation a little bit? And the first date we went on while we were hiking, he was like, I could tell he was not having a good time. It's like straight uphill for like 2 hours. And he told me later on that he had only had like a half bottle of Warm Crush that was in his car before he came over, because he didn't realize it would be like a mountain.
Right, like a real hike. Yeah.
So like I'm babbling the whole way up, and he would like be hyperventilating, and in between he'd go, oh yeah, and then he'd add on a few phrases here and there, like in the middle of about to be passing out. But and then on our second date, my dog like vomited a giant pile of beef onto his floor. That was cool.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? He's still around, and obviously
exactly.
3 years, so if you can get through those two things, you're locked in, I think.
Oh yeah,
and I feel that's the.
Oh yeah. No, what were you saying?
No. You could keep going. I'll bring it after.
I was just gonna say he told me that dogs didn't like him at first either, and I thought to myself, I don't know if this is gonna work then, because my dog is extremely important to me. And then he met my dog, totally fine with my dog, and now he has a giant dog of his own. So
look at that.
So you got two big dogs running around every time, like now. Yeah,
his is a Tibetan Mastiff mix. So
wow.
He's just a big,
that's a big
beefy
dog. Yeah.
And he had his. I actually don't have two rabbits. He had a rabbit that is like 12 years old now, which I think is a really big green flag to have a childhood pet be taken care of and live that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go from dogs don't like me and being nervous with mine to getting like a giant one. I also thought that could be a possible relationship breaker if he got a dog and then didn't train it. And I was worried that responsibility would fall on me, but he was really good at it. Now he's got a really great dog. So
definitely. I think the thing we can get out of this part of the convo is that throughout your dates, as long as if you are yourself, no matter how cliche that is, and as long as they accept you for who you are and are willing to still learn about it, of course, you know, you won't get the full picture after a few dates, but as long as you still be yourself, I want to learn more, it could lead it to some good things. And sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. But as long as you're open to as long as you're open to it and know that you'll be okay with yourself, and somebody else will be very happy with you as well. I'm sure you both can agree with that.
Yeah. On your date, just be absolutely authentically yourself. If you want to say something you think is like weird or off, I always like to think to myself, would I say this though 3 years into a relationship, or would I feel bad if I'm prevented from saying such a thing? So
that's
like I said all my weird as fuck stuff like on our second, third date, and it worked. So
indeed, I like that. And I'm somebody who's very unapologetic of being themselves, and you know, whether that's my personality, that's something people like or don't. I think it's really too hard. It's really hard for me not to be myself. And it did take until, honestly, like, and for somebody who's had girlfriends in his life, maybe it really took until, you know, a year or two to feel like, okay, like I am worthy of it. I'm worthy. I'm a worthy person, and I'm sure somebody else will recognize that. And then when I'm on, you know, the other side, and hopefully whoever I'm dating, that's something I can learn more about too, and also just most importantly learn about them. I know about myself. I really want to hopefully get a connection with somebody and
meet new people.
What happens.
You gotta find a sports girl, eh?
Matt needs to find someone who's at least capable of listening about sports talk for at least an hour and a half a day.
As long as they're, for me, they really could hate sports. They could say, football stupid, this is that. But at least if they're open to like
you liking it.
Exactly. Like they don't have to watch games with me. They don't have to go to games with me. I mean, I think those are good dates down the line, but as long as they're just happy that I have that kind of interest, that's fine. I'm really okay with that. Like, sports don't matter. Like this is honestly true. Say there was like the Yankees are in Game 7 of the World Series. They're about to win a championship. And then there's this girl, like, she will guarantee to like you forever. I mean, not to make things too extreme. I would be okay with the girl part, really.
Yeah.
And that's because
over watching the Yankees in Game 7?
It might be hard, but I think
I
don't know
if I believe you, bud.
No, here's the thing. Listen, Ryan. Here's the thing. Sports are amazing. They're not all of life, though.
No, they're not. I agree with that.
A Yankee, let me put it to you this way. A Yankee, Giant, Rangers, Knicks championship, I don't think can ever compare to somebody who genuinely likes me for who I am.
Yeah.
That's not a hard comparison. I think you nailed that one. Very brave of you to stand up and say that.
And I genuinely mean that too. And I like other things too. I love to make drinks. I obviously love this, but I love movies and other interests. I there's more to life than sports, and getting that special connection is worth it.
It just kind of depends how big of a part of your life, like what you want to be compatible with the partner. And like for me, I watch so much anime that I just that's like the one interest thing that needed to mesh. I needed to date somebody that was in anime. So that's not too hard to find nowadays, though. Anyways,
there's a bunch of people.
Definitely, and it's me and that person. That's all that matters at the end of the day, and everything else is a great thing to add to life. And we'll see what happens. We will ultimately see what happens, and I've learned just don't be afraid to put yourself out there too, and somebody will accept you for you, even with your various quirks in this world.
And is this your second date with this girl?
Yes, it will be. And
nice.
I will say,
look at you cheesing.
Oh man, if this doesn't work out, this would be silly. But it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not putting that energy out there. So I went to. There's this mall where I'm from. When we were talking, we talked about going on a walk, and I said, okay, let's go on this walk by this. There's the mall, then there's this park that we could walk around, and then we could go to this bar. The games just happened to be on. It was an NFL Sunday, and I was willing to go on a date. So I cover the NFL every single week. I don't miss the NFL.
Yeah.
But you know what? I saw this person seems really cool. I haven't been on a legitimate date in months. She seems interested to see me. Might as well do. I can sacrifice a Sunday, NFL Sunday. So we just did our walk, did go to the sports bar, but they didn't not watch the games, and we hung out. And I just watched the games after we went our separate ways. And when I thought of the idea for bowling because I thought, okay, I can only do so many. For my dating life hasn't been as active as it was maybe a few years ago. Like my last real relationship was in 2019. Well, 2019 into 2020. So I was like, okay, one thing I could do differently. Why not just take a leap of faith into everything besides just the typical drinks, typical dinner? So that's where I came up with bowling.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the bowling alley in probably 5 years.
It's so much fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let me have a good time.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend, we go to the alley here sometimes, and drinks and matzo sticks and play. I wish we had laser tag here. I love laser tag dates.
Laser tag.
There's laser tag at this place.
Yeah, you should at third date if it all goes well. Laser tag.
Yes, we'll go to the same exact spot.
But the best thing to do is you got to get another couple and you have to do double date. A double date is always best at some point to see how they also interacted people that are close to you and how people close to you
interact with them. Yeah.
Is it possible even on a third date? That's not too soon.
Not necessarily. I mean, it just depends how the mood's been going, I guess.
Definitely.
Like if it still feels in the starting stages, but if you feel like she's super chill, very sociable, if she's more introverted, maybe not, but
I get it. Yeah, yeah. And that's something to learn too. But I just figured, okay, let me just at least, and that's what I genuinely want to do, try these other things. And if they still like me for me, then that's a cool thing we can connect on, is being atypical. We can only go to so many dinner and drinks and stuff like that. So
dinner and drinks nonstop isn't really a good way to like eke out if a relationship's going to be good long term, because that's not your normal situation every single day.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Even if for whatever reason it doesn't work, really is no problem. We'll just see what else is out there and do you. But
exactly.
But I do have a bunch of respect for this person, so we'll see what happens.
Good.
Just one very last thing, Karra, before we wrap it up. So every first time guest I have here, I do something known as the Proust questionnaire, where I ask 10 of the same questions to somebody who's joined the show for the first time. And I'd love to do that with you.
Yeah.
Ryan, you can just watch if you want to.
Yeah, I've done it before. So episode 3, check it out.
Exactly. Yes, Ryan, episode 3. So my first one here on episode 294. This is my first question for you on the Proust, Karra, is what is your favorite word?
Thunder.
Thunder. Why is that? That's a cool one. That's a first.
Thunder?
Yeah.
It's like the realization that other people have lives outside of yours.
No, that's deep. I like that. That's what's up. Ryan, you learned about that?
I think it's kind of cringe deep. I just think the word itself sounds cool.
It feels like one of those there's like a dictionary of like dark and ominous words. I forget the name of the book. It feels like it's out of that, but I just looked it up and it looks like it's not. It looks like it's real. So like it is real, obviously, but like it's a regular dictionary word too. But there's like a whole dictionary of like gloomy kind of.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that.
It's a book, very r/I am 14 and deep kind of word, but it sounds cool. So.
What is your least favorite word?
Moist.
Moist, yeah.
That's a lot of people's.
I don't like that.
Number 3. Now, this isn't necessarily a sexual question. It's more of a life and fulfillment one. But what turns you on in this world?
Mountains.
Yeah.
Mountains.
I like that. Dope. What turns you off?
Flatlands.
The elevation of the geography is very important.
I hate going through Saskatchewan and Manitoba. It's just mind-numbing.
Those are just fields, right?
Yeah.
It's like an Indiana.
Yeah, I don't like fields.
Iowa.
What sound or noise do you love?
My dog howling.
Aw.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Do you know what misophonia is?
No, what's that?
It's an actual disorder. It comes along sometimes with people with ADHD or autism, where you have extremely visceral reactions to like certain sounds. I have sound canceling headphones on me at all times, no matter where I am. I cannot stand chewing. If I hear any chewing, I will start to panic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I get it. What is your favorite curse word?
Hunt.
Yeah. That's probably the first too.
Can I say a technical slur?
Yeah.
Retard. Love saying retard. I also love saying retard because when people are like, you can't say that, I can say I'm autistic. I can say it because I am it.
But I feel like you definitely strike me as you like to show people. No.
Oh boy.
Let the record show I never said that. No, you strike me as someone who really likes to show people what for. Like someone tells you no, that's your cue do it. You know what I mean?
Almost like you take it as a personal challenge.
Like I did that Jesus thing, and a lot of people were commenting and saying like, you wouldn't do this to Islam. So guess what I did for my next post?
Oh, God. I think we can guess.
Yeah, I got a niqab on Wish.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, you do strike me as someone who takes no as an invitation to prove like, them wrong.
Everyone can catch my fists. I do not care. I do not care about any of you guys. So,
what profession other than your own, or the various jobs you have, that you would like to attempt?
Park ranger.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
That makes sense with the mountains.
Yeah.
What profession would you not like to do?
Law. My parents kept trying to push me into it. They think I'd be a good lawyer, but the work that goes into it
can be a lot.
Hell no. Yeah, no.
I get it. One of our friends of the show is a lawyer.
Or I guess nurse. Hard. I have a needle phobia. I could not ever be a nurse.
That'll make nursing hard.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. And our final question today before we say goodbye is, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Your dog is here. He's been waiting for you.
Now that's as wholesome as it gets.
Yeah.
Well, Karra, I think this was a very, very good talk. This was very awesome. I appreciate you coming on and speaking with me and Ryan. I had a blast. I'm sure Ryan did as well.
Absolutely.
This was really, really sweet. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Oh yeah, I had nothing to do today, so this is a little fun slice.
Perfect.
Glad to be.
Now it's time to play League.
Yeah, no, we're cutting into your game time, but
I like that. And do you want to just quickly plug in where we can find your content?
What's my Insta? I think I'm like real.Karra on like everything. If you look up real Karra, it'll pop up. I don't know. I don't even.
We're gonna link you as well. We're probably gonna link it as well.
All
exactly.
Right.
We'll take care of it. But that's real Karra. Thank you so much for coming on, and hopefully we see you again really soon down the road.
Oh yeah. All right. You guys have a good night.
You as well.
Goodbye.
See ya.